Ron DeSantis was struggling big time in his primary race for governor of Florida. Polls revealed DeSantis was failing so bad, he was losing by a staggering 17 points. Then DeSantis was saved by the endorsement of President Trump.
The PAC for Donald Trump has put out one of the most vicious political ads I have ever encountered. Of course, it's against Ron DeSantis. That has been Trump's focus for months now. And wait till you hear how much money Trump's PAC is spending on hitting DeSantis where it hurts. But before we do that, let's watch a little more of that viciousness.
Trump's support was so powerful. Just 2 days after the endorsement, DeSantis took a commanding lead, and it propelled him to being elected governor.
I'd like to thank our president for standing by me when it wasn't necessarily the smart thing to do.
You're welcome, Ron. Unfortunately, instead of being grateful, DeSantis is now attacking the very man who saved his career. Isn't it time DeSantis remembers how he got to where he is?
Make America great again.
Big league. So good.
Build the wall. Then Mr. Trump said, "You're fired." I love that part.
Truth is, there's only one person who can make America great again.
Murder.
Yeah.
187, that's what that was.
Yeah, 187 on a Florida governor.
Yeah.
So this is what Trump's good at. And so this is PAC, and it's not Trump directing it, but the fish in this case does the right things politically from the head down, because Trump gives them a green light. Because these super PACs are all liars, right? They say, oh, we don't coordinate. No, DeSantis isn't in the race yet, so he hasn't unleashed his PAC, and they haven't spent any money attacking Donald Trump. That's because DeSantis told him not to, because he's not even sure he's going to get in the race, in my opinion.
He hasn't even announced yet.
I know.
He hasn't even announced yet, and Trump's like, no, I'm going to murder you anyway.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah.
And Trump gave the green light to his PAC, obviously, to go behead Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
He said, I want that meatball on a platter, okay? And
Mohammed bin Salman's jealous.
Well, wow, okay. So we said it's a metaphor, it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay, but guys, all of these ads are devastating. These ads are amazing. And look, it leads me to think two things. One, Biden's not gonna run ads like this. Biden, we just showed you earlier in the show, Biden's 3-minute ad, we nearly fell asleep in the middle of it. Biden's gonna run ads about my Republican friends. I love them so much. I want them to be wonderful and strong and terrific. Oh, you're voting for them? Damn it, right? So Trump's gonna rip Biden's head off this time around. So that's one issue, right? Second, I don't know if DeSantis is gonna get in this race, man. I mean this is brutal. And the ad, the other part of it is that it's true. The ad is true. Yeah, okay, DeSantis was dead in the water. Trump did rescue him, and Trump, see, he has no. There are no rules, he has no constraints. So he looks like a mob boss in that ad. I guarantee you Democratic consultants would be like, oh no, that looks really bad. You look like you're intimidating him and you're leering over him. It looks like you're a mob boss. And Trump would say, goddamn right I do. And his voters love that.
I love that you're thinking about this in the context of Trump versus Biden, which I think is the right way to think of it, because that's what we're thinking about moving forward. But as I watch this Trump ad against DeSantis, I can't help but feel a gigantic sense of envy, because I wish we had progressive candidates that were willing to use this type of political attacks and ads against corporate Democrats that they run against.
Or even Republicans.
Or Republicans, exactly, yeah, 100%.
No, I know, look man, Rebellion PAC just doesn't have enough money. Go to rebellionpac.com, because we'll run ads like this all day long. But we need more resources to make that happen. Yeah. So, but look, to Anna's point, so the DC people look at this and go, oh my God, you guys are helping Donald Trump by saying his ads are good. And if you just shut up and we all pretend Biden's ads are good, he'll win.
Yeah, except we're not.
That's not how it works.
We're not in the puppet business.
Yeah, so there's two massive problems with that. It's not even true. That's what all of media did for Hillary Clinton, and she didn't win. So this whole idea of, oh, we're just gonna brainwash everybody into thinking that these corporate Democrats are really for the American people. Okay, it just doesn't work.
I thought she didn't win because of Susan Sarandon.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
But the second more important reason is, no, our job is to be honest with you guys. Okay, and it doesn't help to be dishonest. So no, those are killer ads.
They are.
And DeSantis is almost like, he's lost 20 points, almost 30 points in some polls before he even put his shoes on. And Trump, when it comes to politics, is a killer.
Now, Trump is also willing to spend a considerable amount of money on these attack ads. If you're wondering where all that fundraising went to, right? The fundraising where he claimed to be trying to raise the resources necessary to fight the results of the 2020 election. He didn't actually spend that money on what he claimed he was gonna spend it on. Looks like he's spending it on this. Because since April, the super PAC, Make America Great Again, Inc., has been launching a $1.5 million ad campaign every week. And Ron DeSantis hasn't even announced yet.
Yeah, so I mean, it's such a classic Trump thing too. A stop to steal, I'm really worried about it. Oh my God, those patriots on January 6th, we need to protect them. Doesn't send them a dime. He hoards all the money for himself. Of course he does. And now he's spending it fighting another Republican.
It's insane. Okay, but DeSantis also keeps stepping in it. So recently he was in Japan and he was asked about Donald Trump and the election, and his response was so awkward. I don't know what is going on with this guy. I mean, I guess the higher they rise, the harder they fall. And I think we're watching him, witnessing him fall as we speak. Here's an example of that.
Governor, polls show you falling behind Trump. Any thoughts on that?
I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
But what happened with that face, though?
Yeah, what happened with that head?
In case you missed it, there it is. It's gonna be all right. Act normal.
Yeah, I know, he's so nervous. The race hasn't even started and he's like nervous. Forget these pictures, those pictures are funny, but the head movement was my favorite part. I rewatched it like 3 times. I'm like, is this real or did somebody AI this thing? Because he's like, I'm not a candidate yet. Look at him, he's doing the same.
He's so uncomfortable.
Oh, Jesus.
Now he had a sit down interview with Sean Hannity as well, and he was asked about Trump's attacks. Let's take a look at his answer.
The last time I interviewed President Trump, I was there in 2018, and I always saw the two of you as friends. And I said to him, a very simple question I asked him, I said, what happened? And I think it's only fair to ask you the same question. What do you think happened?
You know, I enjoyed supporting him when he was president. We worked really hard for his re-election in Florida. And I always had a good relationship with him. And then once the midterm election happened, he started taking shots at me. I didn't really do anything to do it except do a good job. But that's fine. I mean, Sean, you know, when you're making things happen, you take incoming from a variety of targets. So that's just the nature of the business.
All right, so obviously he was not doing a sit down interview. He was still in Tokyo as Hannity was interviewing him. I don't know why DeSantis's team put him directly in front of the sun for the interview, but that was awkward. I missed what he said though. I think we need to watch it one more time with some special effects to enhance the experience.
What do you think happened?
You know, I enjoyed supporting him when he was president. We worked really hard for his re-election in Florida. And I always had a good relationship with him. And then once the midterm election happened, he started taking shots at me. I didn't really do anything to do it except do a good job.
Poor Ronnie.
Yeah. Look, politicians, this is why Trump wins. Politicians don't know how to be real people. It's such an easy answer. Why don't you say, here's what happened. It looks like we're gonna run against each other in the upcoming Republican primary, so he started attacking me. And by the way, so DeSantis doesn't want to say he's running yet. So it's still super easy to do it. Apparently Trump thinks I'm gonna run against him and he's worried about it. So he started attacking me and no one else. I guess that's because he thinks I'm the leading candidate. I haven't even made up my mind yet. Hey, Donnie, bring it down, okay? So
you scared?
And look, if you're scared, maybe you should, run ads against Democrats. Oh, you're more scared of me than you are of Democrats because you think I could beat you. But okay, hey, whatever. Just be light, man. Just answer real way instead of like doing the, I don't know what happened. I didn't do anything to him. I swear I didn't do anything to him.
The final thing that I want to say about all of this is, considering how much stronger Trump appears in comparison to Ron DeSantis, considering how scared Ron DeSantis appears to be, it is puzzling to me that Trump does not want to debate in the Republican primaries. Well, so that's a news story. He says he doesn't want to do the debates. Does he not realize that, as much as I hate to admit this, that's where he tends to perform pretty well,
especially in Republican primaries. So when he got to the general election with Biden, he clowned himself because he has no brakes in the car. So he was like swerving out of control, and it turned off independent voters and it turned off a lot of voters and drove him to Biden. But when he's in a Republican primary and he has no brakes in the car, the Republican voters love it. When he's smashing into everyone, telling them his penis size and calling them like little Marco and low energy Jeb.
Lying Ted.
Lying Ted. His wife is ugly. His dad's a killer. Okay, the Republicans eat that stuff up. Yeah, but I'd be surprised if he didn't debate, because I think what he's listening to now is consultants telling him, no, you have like a 20 to 30 point lead. People with that big a lead don't debate. They try to run away from debates. And that's what Biden's trying to do. He's like, oh no, I am above it. I am the president. Dude, you're worried about being able to put two senators together in a debate. Let's keep it real as to why the DNC is trying to end debates. But great, we have two guys who are right now by far leading in the race to become the Republican and Democratic nominees. And they both don't want to debate. They both have no interest in the democratic process. They both want to run their campaigns from a basement. But one guy is surrounded by pillows and the other one's got some serious weapons, and you just saw him unleash one of those, right? So Trump is launching nukes from his basement and Biden's launching pillows.
But not my pillows.
Yeah, no, definitely not those. And Ron DeSantis is launching nothing. So Meatball, get in the game.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.